Matt, this is Bob from Flashfix. Got your request about repairing the corner of a countertop and thought I'd show you how we would do it. So I use this piece of wood to simulate what your countertop might look like with a big chip out of the corner of it. What I would do first is create a little form, maybe out of a piece of cardboard, tape it in place, and now you've got a nice little mold in there to start building up that corner. And I would put thin layers on, starting with one that covers the entire piece of exposed granite. Cure that one really thoroughly because that's the one that's going to do all of the holding for all the layers that you're going to build on top of that. So you take your Flashfix, start building it up in there. And by the way, when you choose your form material, you might have to line that with wax paper or something that the Flashfix won't want to stick to. So I've got the first coat applied in there now. I'm going to cure this with the flashlight for 10 seconds. Give it a good thorough cure. If you're patient, you can even go a little longer, but 10 seconds should do it. And then I'm going to put another layer on top of that and just keep building it up. I can see now I'm getting pretty close to my final dimensions. I would overbuild it just a little bit because the Flashfix is sandable once it's fully cured. So we're going to overbuild it just a little. We're going to wipe it down with the alcohol swab to take off any really thin layer of uncured stuff that might be on there. And then we're going to sand it to shape. And even once you take the form off, you can still touch it up anywhere you think it needs to be built up a little bit. Just add some more Flashfix to it and cure it. Again, keep building whatever layers you need to achieve the shape that you're looking for. Okay, so I've built it up to my liking now. It's actually a little positive. It's above the main surface of the wood. And now I'm going to take off the form and see what I got. And you can see my form was not precise. I've got a little edge here I'm going to have to sand off. I'm a little bit high here. Might have a little bit of a divot here that I need to fill in, but that's what you'll do. You'll build it up to your liking and then sand it to shape. So, okay, now I've got a little divot on the side facing the camera. I know you can't lift up a countertop and manipulate it, so I'm going to simulate that by applying it on top. Let gravity let it flow down into the area that was a little bit below where I wanted it, and then cure it with the light. Liquid plastic is really easy to work with for this type of application. Closer you hold the light, better it cures. Okay, now that I have it to its final rough buildup, I'm going to wipe it down with my alcohol swab. You sometimes do get just a little bit of a tacky layer on the outside of this. And that makes it easier to sand. So now it's time to sand to shape. That's what I'm going to do. I'll start with about 150 grit on something like this. And if you want it nice and shiny, take it all the way to 400 or 600 grit when you get to that point. Sandpaper is not going to hurt your granite at all. If you're worried about it, you could mask it off with some tape, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because granite is so hard. So I've sanded this to a pretty good shape. It could use a little fine tuning, but it's close. I'm just going to wipe it down with the alcohol swab again. And you'll see that it's somewhat translucent, but you know, pretty nice shape overall. So it built up that corner. It's on there to stay. I was sanding it really hard. It didn't move at all. And it's filled in with a solid. So sand to your liking and you should be in good shape. Remember, finer grit will polish it as you go.